What's going on, world? My name is Charlie. Welcome to the Stoke channel. I am a Sturgis native, grew up in Sturgis. Believe it or not, I've been going to the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally since 1997. So if you have enough patches to top me, I want to see you this year, and I want to get a photo with you. What I have done is wrote down the 25 top things to see in Sturgis or in the immediate surrounding area. So if you've never been to Sturgis, please follow along. If you've been a million times, please follow along. Comment below what you think are definitely the top things to see. So let's hop right in. Number one, right away, is the bus. If you've not seen the bus system, or if you've not utilized the bus system, that is definitely something you want to take advantage of. Here on SturgisBus.com, this is the bus. They sell rally wristbands, and they have an entire bus system where it can go from Sturgis to Spearfish, from Deadwood to Sturgis, from Buffalo Chip, from Glencoe, from all of the major campgrounds that are outside of town. It will have a route directly accessing those campgrounds. So you do not need to drink and hop on your bike. If you know you're going to start drinking throughout the day, just get on one of the bus systems and have a good time. Don't worry about riding, because at the end of the day, guys, Sturgis is going to be very, very busy, and it's dangerous. So it's safer for everybody. If you know you're going to be consuming alcohol, just get a sober ride. Don't ride your motorcycle after you've been drinking. Grab the bus wristband. It's $25 a day or $80 for the week, and it's 100% worth it. Not only is the bus safer than you riding, but it's actually a lot of fun. It is a party on wheels. Definitely seen some boobies, definitely seen some people getting risky. They sell alcohol on the bus, and it is always a lot of fun from the Buffalo Chip to Sturgis. I've rode it from Deadwood to Sturgis. This is just a really great option if you're going to be coming. So check out the SturgisBus.com and all of the rally routes they have. There are quite a few. Back in the day, there was only just one, and they've really grown. So shout out to the bus. All right, so right here on the corner of Main Street and First, there's a little shop called Sturgis Souvenirs, I believe, and they run every day a group photo at Main Street, and this is a lot of fun, guys. All right, definitely for at least one day out of the rally, make it for this group photo. It's so much fun, and just check at that Main Street gift shop for the time that they do it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they usually do it around noon every day. And when you get to find yourself in one of these photos, it's just a really great time. You meet it's a great opportunity to meet people right here in this photo, and then you can buy the photo at that gift shop that I pointed out right here on the corner of Main Street and First, Sturgis Photo and Gifts. So that's a really fun activity, and it's free. You don't have to buy the photo, but you can get in the photo, and you're always there in other people's memories. All right, the next business that I want to talk about is just an iconic business here in Sturgis. Matter of fact, this was the first place that I ever worked in my life. I was not even a teenager. I used to work right up here in this upper balcony, and I used to fold t-shirts as they came off of the heat conveyor, and watched my older brother and sister print t-shirts for the rally. Just an absolutely cool experience. My parents worked downstairs shuttling t-shirts and boxes to different vendor sites across the city. Very, very cool. One of our old high school teachers used to work at owner of this business. His name was Tom Monahan, and he passed away through a heart attack, unfortunately, so rest in peace, Tom. They make the Sturgis official logo every year that goes on the official t-shirts and all of the merch. This is where that comes from, is Tom's Tees. And back in the day, it used to be called Schwartz and Monahan, Tom's Tees. I don't want to not leave out Schwartz and Monahan. So check out Tom's Tees, and they have a little wine bar in there now as well. Very, very fun little place. And I don't know how who you have to talk to get up here in this upper balcony, but that is the place for sure. All right, so another one that you absolutely cannot miss when you go to Sturgis is the Sturgis Motorcycle Museum. This Sturgis Motorcycle Museum and Hall of Fame is absolutely legendary. There are some beautiful, beautiful ancient Harley-Davidsons in here. There are some really cool police bikes in here. It's also a real nice savior when it's a hot day outside. There's air conditioning on the inside of this. This cannot be understated. This little building right here is right on the corner of Main Street and Junction. So there's two main thoroughfares in Sturgis, and that's going to be Junction Avenue and Lozelle, and then Main Street is going to be right in between those. So this is Lozelle Street, and this is Junction. Here's your Main Street right here. It's not too hard to stay on track in the town of Sturgis. Alright y'all, so there's two main exits to get into Sturgis. This exit right down here, this is by the Days End campground. This is also, you'd be coming in from like the Spearfish or the Whitewood direction. This is exit 30, and there's the other exit from the opposite end of town. This would be if you're like coming in from the Rapid City direction. This is exit 32. If you get off on exit 32 and you're heading in to the town of Sturgis, you can stop in right down here. This is the other real iconic thing to do, and this is just right here at the corner of this junction, and it says Anna Street. This is the Sturgis sign. You can come up, park your bikes, even a group of bikes, and get a photo at this Sturgis sign. This is free. This is something that's right off the road, and typically there is a long line, and you're gonna want to do it. It's something that you just gotta have in your photo log. Trust me, when you're gonna get back home, if you didn't do this, you're gonna be like, dang, I wish I had that photo. It's an iconic little sign. People are definitely gonna want to do it. If you want to do it, something to keep in mind is the line. Early in the morning would be a better option. So again, it's something that's free, it's cool, it's fun, and you definitely want to get this photo for the memory books. Alright, next y'all is the Knuckle Saloon. So this one is right here on the front of Lozelle Street, and this is an iconic saloon. It used to be just this one little area, and it built up to be an entire brewery on this side. There's a trading post, little souvenir gift shop. There's a pizzeria in here now. This entire middle area was built up and covered. Sometimes they have cage fights in there. Sometimes in earlier in the summer they'll have bull riding right here in the middle. It's absolute blast in there. The people who own this are very, very cool people. This is one of the few businesses in town that are open year-round, that actually service the local people all the time as a food and restaurant and brewery area. And a lot of the bars do just shut down and only open up for the 1 week. So I really encourage people to go visit the Knuckle and treat these people right. And then the staff here too. A lot of the staff I went to school with. Sturgis, for me and for people who went to high school in Sturgis, it's like a giant high school reunion every year, and you see your hometown work in this event. So keep that in mind, guys. I know you're all here at Sturgis for a very fun time, and for me too. I go every year. I take the entire week, but these people are my family. They are my friends. They aren't just numbers. A lot of these people who work this event, they are actually Sturgis local people. They make it happen, so treat them right. Let them know that you guys appreciate them, all right? All right, guys, next one on the list is the Loud American. The Loud American is awesome. They boast to have the legendary steak tips. They're going to have a huge tent right here. They're going to have bands going from the crack of dawn to the end of the night. All right, they're always going to have something going on. They're going to have beautiful girls working. They're going to have girls dancing. It's just going to be a great time. Lots of photo opportunities. Right underneath of here, there'll be some shade opportunities if you want to grab a drink, sit underneath of their little shady area. They have like misters, and sometimes it's just a really fun bar. You gotta check it out while you're in town here. Next bar is the Side Hack in the Gunner's Lounge. So these are independent. Gunner's Lounge right here, Side Hack right here. The saloon and grill, I can say that they have a good breakfast, especially when you've had a little sauce the night before. It's a good one. The biscuits and gravy were just killer when I ate it last year. And there's even a little gentleman's club right here at the top of the stairs. But do be aware, guys, it's pasties only. You're not going to get the real deal, unfortunately. They just have that as a law here in Sturgis. Come on, Sturgis. Give us what we want. But the best thing about Side Hack Saloon, and they typically always do this, is there is a wet t-shirt contest 3 times a day here. 3 times a day here. It was awesome. It was like noon, 3 and 5. I'm not. Don't quote me on that. You'll have to check Side Hack it. But god damn it, the girls get wild out here, and it is so much fun. Gotta check out those freaking wet t-shirt contests. It's a great time at the Side Hack. This is the Iron Horse Saloon. If you've not seen it, if you've not heard about it, the Iron Horse is something that you've got to check out, okay? The Iron Horse also has a 3-deck viewing pleasure opportunity. This is one of the best spots because it's right here on the corner of Lizelle and Junction, okay? It's one of the busiest junctions in town, so you have a lot of really good people watching opportunities. Oh look, Sweeto Burrito. Sweeto Burrito has a food truck right here. There will be a couple other food trucks right here. There will be like a bar tent right here. There's some awesome bands playing for free every single night of the rally. Clutch is going to be there. The mob goes wild, wild, wild. Dude, that's going to be a killer night. You've got to check that out. I think it's Monday, August 5th. Check out their website. I will have everything linked below. Also, Yellow Wolf is playing, and this will be the 4th time I see Yellow Wolf in Sturgis. If you did not check out the Yellow Wolf show, you've got to see Yellow Wolf here at the Iron Horse Saloon. It is going to be a banger. So we're going to start moving outside of town on Highway 34, just past the high school that I grew up at. All right, we have Glencoe Resort. Doesn't look like I can street view you all the way down. Lanphier Ranch, shout out to Lanphier. Dude, Mr. Lanphier, I don't know if he's still alive. He was my 8th grade science teacher. He let me freeze my socks with liquid nitrogen. But he is one of the owners of Glencoe. Glencoe Resort is right down here. Glencoe. Looks like Lanphier Ranch is separate. I'm pretty sure they're like, whatever. Anyways, Glencoe Camp Resort. Let's see if we can't pull up something about Glencoe Camp Resort. Is in its own. See, Glencoe Camp Resort is somewhat similar to the Buffalo Chip. It is one of those big campgrounds out there, slightly outside of town, that is kind of lawless. You get to do whatever you want in these kind of areas. So if that's the experience that you're looking for, definitely check them out. They're going to have their entire lineup on their own of different bands, different things. They're going to have bikini bike washes. See what's in store for 2023. Let's just take a glance at it real quick. Doesn't have a list, it just has a video. So definitely check out Glencoe. Again, I'll have everything linked below. And this is one of those areas that you can camp at, you can RV park, you can do just go in and see it for the day even. You don't have to camp there. You can see concerts there. There's so many things going on at Glencoe. I believe they used to have hill climbs. Do they still have hill climbs out there? It's one rad place. You guys got to just go out there and see it. Not too far away from Glencoe, just outside of town, is an old Fort Meade Museum. And, just right outside of Sturgis is an old fort called Fort Meade. And this is a cavalry fort, and it's a really cool thing to go just check out, especially if you are into history. If you are into history, there is an exceptional small museum out here. Alright, so this is the old Fort Meade Museum. It is right here in this inner loop on Sheridan Street. Pretty positive. It'll be really easy to find. Don't worry, it's very well signed. And it is open for the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally from 10 to 3. and it's closed on Sundays. This museum has everything to do with the old cavalry station here, how they were on a mounted cavalry, all the caring for the horses. They shot cannons out here. There's a lot of really, really cool history here. If you're into cavalry, if you're into history, if you're into military, this is a must-see, and it's only a couple bucks. It's not a very expensive museum at all. You definitely go check out my friends here at the Fort Meade Museum. Or the gentleman who runs this, his name is Chuck Rambo, and he knows tons about the local Native American people. Awesome guy, awesome museum to go see. Definitely go check out my friends. All right, so I've covered most of the things that are in the immediate Sturgis area, but I do want to tell you what I find is awesome about the local Black Hills. As a person who grew up here, there's things that you need to see, that I want you to see. You can't miss these things if you come all the way to the Black Hills. It's worth checking these things out. So let me break them down. So this is the Mammoth Site in Hot Springs, South Dakota. This is not very far away from Sturgis, maybe a few hours, but it's a beautiful ride on Highway 385 if you want to get out there. And what this is an old tar pit, basically, that animals used to walk up close to. They would slide in and they would die, and their bones were preserved perfectly inside of this pit. And so now they've excavated thousands of mammoths, saber-toothed tigers, three-toed horses. There's all sorts of amazing things that you would never believe that have been perfectly preserved in the rock. So if you're a person that's interested in mammoths, in archaeology, in bones, this is definitely something that you should not miss. So this is in Hot Springs, South Dakota, and it's very cool. Even if you're not into that kind of stuff, it is really, really cool. Okay, so I said thousands, but it says over 60 mammoths. Okay, this one is for my rock lovers or even mining lovers. Up in Deadwood, South Dakota, in Lead, South Dakota, there is the Black Hills Mining Museum. This talks about the Homestake mine, the open cut, and all of the mine operations that were in the Black Hills. If you were not aware, there are over 4,000 mines in the Black Hills that were documented. There's probably a lot more that were undocumented. There is a quest over here for minerals in the 1800s that basically led people to drilling holes everywhere just to see what was going on. We have a lot of minerals here in the Black Hills, finds out, and there's a lot of mines for them. So definitely check out Homestake, the Black Hills Mining Museum, right here in Deadwood. There's a Broken Boot mining tour that you can go see. In Keystone, there's another mining tour. It's not too extensive, but for sure, if you're into mines, the thing that I recommend the most would be the Black Hills Mining Museum. This is going to be the most comprehensive and most informational thing that, in my opinion. Still in Deadwood, and you are into history, I've got something for you. This is the Mount Moriah Cemetery in Deadwood. This is one of those great things to see if you're into American history. Not only is Wild Bill Hickok buried there, Calamity Jane is buried there, and it is relatively cheap. I think it's just like a couple bucks to go into. And it's right at the top. You overlook Deadwood Lead, and it's just so crazy that some of the old gunfighting history, the old Wild West history, really did happen right here in the streets of Deadwood. And some of those gunfighters are buried right here at Mount Moriah. It's a beautiful scenery. Some people are just into cemeteries. I don't mean to be morbid. You know what I'm talking about. Some people are just into cemeteries. It's cool history, cool things to see. If you're into Wild Bill Hickok, you gotta see it. And also, if you walk up and down the streets of Deadwood, it's unbelievable. Wild Bill Hickok, where he was shot, the chair he was shot in, saloon number 10. I'll have to make an entire video about Deadwood, so please stay tuned to the channel and think about subscribing if you haven't already. I wanted to talk about the cave systems in the Black Hills. So the Black Hills is known as the island in the plains. It is a 400 square mile circle basically that is encompassed by a limestone ring, and that has led to us having one of the most extensive cave systems in the world. Not only do we have top 3 and 4 cave systems in the world, if I'm not mistaken. Jewel Cave and Wind Cave are things that you cannot miss if you are a geologist, if you're into caves, if you just think caves might be cool, if it's rainy outside and you're looking for something to do, if it's hot as hell outside and you want to get cooled down. These are all really good options to get into a cave. Let me break down some of them real quick for you. Jewel Cave is the number 1 cave I suggest in the Black Hills. It is unbelievable. There's like 1,000 miles or so in there. They have over 100 miles mapped. They have a base camp down in there. It takes 4 days to get to. They do weeks at a time on the inside. It is crazy. Wind Cave National Park is one of the largest drive cave systems in the world, meaning it doesn't have a lot of features, but it is massive and extensive. Black Hills Caverns, they give you a map and a light, and they say, if you're not back in an hour, we'll come find you. That is rad, okay? Spearfish Community Caves is free to hike to. If you're going to go ride through Spearfish Canyon, you could always stop at the community caves and hike up there. Wonderland Cave is just outside of Sturgis through Vanacker Canyon, and that is one of the best rides in the Black Hills. If you are able to get up to Wonderland Cave, it is a gorgeous cave. They have one of the only caves in the area to have a formation called a helictite, which pushes water through it through capillary action. Anyways, Wonderland Cave has a extensive staircase, a very long staircase to get out and to get down in, same staircase, and it is worth it. If you can handle stairs, please go see my friend at Wonderland Cave. Tell him Charlie sent you. And Rushmore Cave. Rushmore Cave is also now called Rushmore Adventure Park. They have an entire adventure park with a cave, a roller coaster, a 73 theater, a zip line, a ropes course, a bunch of different stuff now. It's more family oriented now. Definitely super fun to do if you're into those things, and the cave is cool as well. These ones on the bottom, don't trust that. Again, the caves are cool if you're into geology, if you're into caves, if you're into history, or if it's so hot outside, the caves are naturally air conditioned. You go down into the ground and it's very cool, same with the mines. And if it's rainy, protect yourself from the rain. Alright y'all, next one is the Badlands National Park. I'm sure you guys have already scoped it out as something that you want to do, but the Badlands is absolutely mesmerizing. There's no other way to say it. It's just crazy. Formed through erosion, these Badlands, it's just something you have to see with your own eyes to understand. It goes on so long and extensively that it's hard to even grasp. And you learn about the Native Americans pushing buffaloes off the cliffs and navigating these areas, and it's just unbelievable. It's something you've got to go do. And the little tiny town outside of it is called Wall Drug. Everybody knows about Wall Drug. They have not only a couple of dinosaur statues, but it's a huge tourist trap. As you can see, it's a huge destination for all the motorcycles as well during Sturgis. There's a Harley-Davidson out there that you can get a Wall Drug Harley-Davidson t-shirt. And if you go early in the morning, you gotta stop and check the Cake Donuts. The next one is obvious, of course, but Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore is located in Keystone, just right outside of Rapid City, and it's a beautiful ride. Let me show you a couple of different ways to get there. I think that you will really enjoy them. Okay, so here's Mount Rushmore right here. You can go through Keystone, either. This is my favorite way to get to Mount Rushmore is through Highway 40. Obviously, there's a ton of different ways to get there, but a lot of people will mainly go through Rapid City and then come up straight through Highway 16. This will take you past Bear Country and Rockerville into Keystone. I prefer to go to Hermosa and ride Highway 40. And as you can see, there's a ton of different ways to get up to Mount Rushmore. But this is something you've got to stop and see. If you don't want to pay the fee to get up in there, completely understandable. If you get right down by the road, there's plenty of pull spots right here where you could just pull off and take photos of Mount Rushmore. You do not need to actually get in and pay for the service. But if you do, there's a gift shop and there's a whole Guts and Borglum informational video and shop, everything about Guts and Borglum, the person who sculpted this. Obviously, if you haven't seen Mount Rushmore, go see it. Once you see it about 3 or 4 times, it kind of loses its zeal, and then you kind of realize that, well, white men just stole the land from the natives to blow up the rock that was already really beautiful. Especially if you haven't seen it. If you have not seen it at least once, go and see it because it's worth it. But with that, if you're going to go see Mount Rushmore, you should also go see Crazy Horse in the same day. They're not very far away from each other, and Crazy Horse is going to be the Native American version of Mount Rushmore, which is still absolutely insane. Not to get too political on this, but basically another white person was like, hey, we treated Native Americans wrong, let's blow up another mountain in their sacred area and then make it about natives. And they didn't like that either. And here, many years later, still it's not constructed, and they may have even made a large mistake on it, but it's a really cool thing to go see if you have time. There's a laser show on the side of Crazy Horse. And I will say, there is a lighting ceremony at Mount Rushmore, and there is a laser show at Crazy Horse. Do not waste your time with the lighting show. You're going to hear a speaker broadcast, and they're going to flick on a light switch, and that is it. At Crazy Horse, they have a really cool laser light show on the side of the mountain, and that is 10 times cooler than the lighting of Mount Rushmore. Other things to check out is going to be the Ives Brothers Wall of Death performance. This is going to be out at the Buffalo Chip this year. And the Ives Brothers, if you haven't seen these guys do the old Wall of Death, it is awesome. It's really sick. It's dope to know that people are out there still performing these crazy things. I would love them to do this Ball of Steel. I didn't see them do the Ball of Steel last time, but I have seen the Ives Brothers perform last year, and they are really cool. It's very fun to see, very entertaining, and if you put a dollar bill in your mouth and you put it out there, the dude will snatch it out of your mouth as he goes around the Wall of Death no-handed. I promise you. I shit you not. Right here at the Sturgis Community Center. This is right here in the heart of town. This is on Lizelle and the corner of Lizelle and 4th Street. They're going to have a massive Harley-Davidson tent. They're going to have demo rides right here, the entire demo fleet. I personally recommend going in there, hopping into the Screaming Eagle performance line, and riding every single staged form 131 performance enhanced Screaming Eagle bike that you can ride, baby. And when I was in Milwaukee, I did the 131 Street Bob, and that thing was so snappy, it almost ripped me off the bike, and it honestly, man, it ruined my bike. I was out riding yesterday, and it just doesn't have that. It doesn't snap my head back like I want it. You know what I'm saying? So if you haven't tried the demo fleets, go out and try the demo fleets. Not only is Harley-Davidson going to have them, but right over here, you're going to have Indian motorcycles, you'll have BMW motorcycles. There's going to be lots of demo rides to do. If you have not rode a new bike lately, go out and do a demo ride. They are so much fun. Usually they'll get you out on the interstate, take you to Whitewood, and then you take the service road home. It is a blast. I took out the Pan America last year, and maybe I shouldn't tell you guys this, but maybe I will, just so you guys can experience it too. I went right over here, alright? Right before you get to the interstate turn, there's this turn. I took that one. Let's go back to the top view. Okay? So that's that little service road right here. And it takes you out on this county road up over the hill where there's a dump, and it's a dirt road. So I took the Pan America out. I broke the rules. I went out on my own ride out on this road here, and that was sick. So definitely something to think about. There's tons of bikes to go demo. You've got it. All right, so the next thing, that if you're already in Sturgis, especially if you've drove a long ways to get here, you've got to go check out Devil's Tower. As you can see, I already Google Maps it for you here. It's 1 hour and 17, or at best 1 hour and 22 minutes to get to Devil's Tower. Now, this is a really cool old volcano core. So this is a really cool old volcano core, and there's an awesome Native American legend about how Devil's Tower and the local right outside of Sturgis is called Bear Butte were both formed. Definitely, if you're already here, and it's a poker run, very common things that people do anyways, go check out Devil's Tower. It's a little ways out into the prairie. I suggest leaving early for this one, and also I'll tie this in right here to the next segment, which is Aladdin, Wyoming. And also, those are the next 2 bullet points that I have for you, is the Aladdin Dakota Territory Riders, the Topless Tuesday event. This is going to be on August 8th. Wet t-shirt contest. Also check out my girl, the Highway Vixen. She already made a video about what's going on with the Topless Tuesday in Alzada. This is Alzada, Montana, and there's also an Aladdin, Wyoming. So check out both of those topless events. I'll let you guys do the research on that so we don't get taken down on the video. And lastly, on the top 25 things to do, guys, is definitely go check out my homies at Black Hills Harley-Davidson. Not only are they going to have a massive list of vendors to check out, Saddlemen seats, Vance and Hines, drag specialties, dude, I mean, the list, I can't even claim to know all of them. There's so many bikes, bars, tires, accessories. I mean, everything you could possibly imagine will be out there at Black Hills Harley-Davidson, and it's just iconic to go see it. I think it's one of the largest Harley-Davidson motorcycle dealerships in the nation, and really, it's just awesome. These guys really do a lot for our local motorcycle community. They sponsor a lot of the Saturdays with free beers, free brats, or free burgers, and that's just during the year when it's cold and rainy outside and nobody's riding. They still have that for the local people, and it's a really great meeting spot for local people, especially in the winter. So please go check out my homies out there. Tell them Charlie sent you. Other than that, guys, I do have a list of things that I want to talk to you about, and these are just my personal pro tips, things that I've learned from going to Sturgis Motorcycles Rally. Like I said, my first motorcycle rally was in 1997. I was a little boy. I was 8 years old, and it really changed my life. When I was 23, I bought my first Sportster 883, and when 21, going to the rally at 21 is completely different than before, pre-21. But going to the rally after you have a motorcycle is completely different all together. The bikes, the paint, the gear, the accessories, the girls, like, it all meant so much more as a motorcycle owner. So I want to talk to you about the tips that I've learned over the years that'll really help you out in the long run. If you are going to be tent camping, right here at the Sturgis Community Center, they will have shower opportunities. You can go shower there for a small fee, and it's nice, clean. They even have like a pool. I don't know if they shut the pool down. Maybe I shouldn't say that. They have like a workout facility and everything. Sauna in the pool. I hope they don't shut that down, because then I'll look like a loser for saying that. So right down the street from that is Lynn's Dakota Mart. Lynn's Dakota Mart is a grocery store. Not only they're going to have all the groceries that you can need, but they're also going to have like lunch opportunities that are going to be much more affordably priced than any of the vendor opportunities. You may get kind of burnt out on vendor things and be looking for, like, these guys will have, like sandwiches just made up, basic sandwiches, basic, little things that you could find prepackaged at a grocery store. Nothing elaborate, but they do have good options, and it's also a really good option for your water. Now, that would lead into my other segment of bulk water tips is go to Sam's Club in Rapid City, or there's a Walmart in both Spearfish, 2 Walmarts in Rapid City. If you need to get bulk water purchases, you probably got to go out of town for that, and that might be unfortunate. If you have to, you can always go to like Lynn's Dakota Mart or check one of the dollar stores in town. The next thing is probably one of the most important things that I could tell you guys for this year is that the weather here has been very unseasonable, unrealistic for the area. It has been raining a ton here, so I would prepare for a lot of rain. I would also prepare for it to be cool and cold. Now, when I say that, I don't mean to lead you astray, because it was 98 yesterday, super freaking hot, and it's supposed to be 98 for like the next week. Typically at Sturgis, it's extremely hot, but I want to give you a forewarning that for the whole summer, it's been unseasonably cool and wet. We have been getting pounded with rain. We have not had this wet of a year since 2014, and I can guarantee it. So that being said, I would also prepare for wet, rain, and even hail. There's been a lot of hail this year. Have a plan. Have that extra tarp. Have that extra set of clothes. Just get ready for that. Also, be ready for it to be extremely hot in the day and cool at night. It's been dropping down into the 50s. Maybe it was forecasted for 48. So just beware that it's been ranging very wildly with the weather this year. Another pro tip for Sturgis is waiting to make your purchases. This is only going to be valid for the people who are going to stay for the entirety of the Sturgis rally, because at the end of the week, when people haven't sold their product, they are going to start throwing out those shirts, those things out on fire sales. So at the last Saturday of the event, these people are going to start dumping that product out. So if you have some shirts in mind, or jewelry in mind, or leather in mind, wait until the last day or so and then go pick up those things. That could also help you out with tent space in your bags. You got to think long term that you want to pick up a bunch of stuff. Try not to do it in the first 2 days. You might find yourself loaded down really quickly. And if you do that, there's a post office right here in town. You could always ship yourself stuff home. That's an option. Also, Rushmore office and teacher supplies, they also have a good shipping. They do this. They figured this out. They do this for bikers every year. The next one is they're going to have the open container law this year. And again, now I want to give everybody a fair warning. Now, cops get pulled into this area just for this event. They're not all local cops, and not all of them are great cops. Some of them are absolutely wonderful cops. I'm not hating on cops. I appreciate every single one of the police officers that comes in and helps keep Sturgis safe, but it just gets kind of chaotic, and you gotta imagine that for a police officer in this environment, everybody is a threat, so there can be some kind of sticky times with police officers. I don't think any one of us bikers have a great relation with a police officer unless you're a police officer and you're in the biking community, and we all get that, and we support you. I'm not trying to say anything bad, but the thing is, sometimes they can be fucking dicks, okay? And here's the deal. Don't speed in Sturgis. Don't drink and drive in Sturgis. And if you're going to be part of this open container thing, this is my tip and trick for it. Always have your approved city cup. If you're walking around with a plastic cup and it's not the approved city cup, people were getting bing banged. All right? People were getting arrested for it. People were getting fined for it. It's a huge money-making opportunity for the city, and the cops are in it. All right, so don't have alcohol in the wrong cup. Now, leading into the next part is last year it was beer only in the cup. You couldn't have mixed drinks in the cup. Make sure you're following the rules because they were banging people. It's so stupid that they do this, and this is obviously a money-making technique. So be careful around the cops, because what's going to happen, what I personally saw happen was, instead of having beer, I had a mixed drink, and a cop stopped me, and he says, "What's that?" I said, "Dude, it's a drink, you know." And he said, "Is there liquor in that?" I said, "Yeah." "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "Yeah, you can't have that. It's beer only." He was nice enough to let me finish my drink. I later saw the same guy giving a person a ticket for the same thing, and the guy was screaming at him. So they will, in fact, ticket you for having the wrong type of liquid in the cup. Follow the rules on that. They also put up a stupid boundary line, so you can only be in the certain boundary. If you cross one street, you're out of the boundary. It's not just open container. You have to be within the certain little ring, you little monkey. You have to go in the cage, okay? So make sure you pay attention to the boundary lines. Take a photo of the map. They had the maps posted on all like the street signs and everything else. So take a photo of the map. Just make sure you understand where you can have your beer and where you cannot have your beer. If this year they included liquor, that would be great, because I feel like that was a little silly, Sturgis. And the last trick about that open container thing is it only lasted until a certain time of night. This is, again, what is going on, Sturgis? Like, you let people buy alcohol until 2 a.m., so how are you going to make this trap where after 11 p.m. they can't walk around with a beer? And that's how it was. So after 11 p.m., people were getting ticketed for having their approved cup with beer. It was just past curfew. They could still go into the bar and buy beer and get it in their cup, but they couldn't take it out and walk across the street. I don't know if it's going to be changed, but I did see people getting ticketed for that. Uncalled for, Sturgis. That should change. The last thing, guys, is do not drink and drive. Do not drink and drive. All right? Don't do illegal things. Just don't do anything stupid. The last thing that you want to do in your trip to Sturgis is lose your trip to Sturgis to the inside of a jail cell. All right? I can guarantee you that the Meade County judges over there are so annoyed with bikers doing the wrong thing that by midweek especially, they're just like, boom, boom, boom. They don't give a shit about you guys. You're not from here. You came in, you disrespected the town, you disrespected the cops. That's exactly how they see it. Man, I have known so many people that have gotten arrested through this week, even local people. And then they get fucking treated like not local people too. You know, like, so it is hilarious. So, guys, please just do me a favor. Do not drink and get on your motorcycle. That is a number one sure way to kill yourself, to get a DUI, and to make it less safe for all of us on the road who don't drink. So please don't get on your bike or in your car after you've been consuming alcohol. Please, please. If you have to, go back to number one on this video and get yourself the bus pass. It's absolutely worth it. It's 100% worth your time. Let somebody else do the driving and you can just people watch. Have a beer. Smoke a joint. Do whatever you want to do on that bus, because you're not the driver. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're going to be in Sturgis, like this video, comment below. Let's link up. Let's have a good time. And I can't wait to see you guys.